So it's week 42, it's the 25th of September, and as you can see, I'm sitting here on the balcony where they're having a magnificent braai, beautiful view here in Cape Town. We've just enjoyed a lovely sunset. But what did we experience this week? Well, we had our first W Sales official paid for workshop, not the SABF one, but at full value. We had that in Cape Town. We had a huge turnout. I was overwhelmed by the response. I was so excited by the number of people. We actually filmed it as well, so we can turn that into a product. Because but the thing I loved was the energy. The people just, there was such a good vibe, such a good energy, and the feedback forms were just awesome in terms of what people's feedback was. So I was really pumped, really stoked. It's really nice to see an idea turn into a fruition. As Hannah says, you take business through 7 levels. Wealth creators are turning ideas into things, into money and everything else. And it was just so awesome to actually make it happen in terms of where we're going. On the downside, my wife is pregnant, and yes, she is an absolute pain in the arse at the moment. A lot of people have been laughing with me and saying it's something that you can understand and what you expect. I think there's an awesome business idea to buy an island somewhere in the Indian Ocean and actually literally send pregnant women there. There should be no telecommunications, no internet, no cell phones. Then put them on the boat, and you see them in 9 months later when they come back with their children. But all seriousness though, it certainly has been a very tough ride trying to keep her rational, basically. Pregnant woman, emotions a little bit up and down and all over the place. So it has been a bit crazy. And to be honest as well, we're now down in Cape Town, and she's homesick. She's missing her family and friends. So how many more of these we're going to be doing with this beautiful view, this magnificent life? I don't know. We'll have to see. We'll have to hold that one. The next one was the affiliate partners. Really excited this week. Managed to get Private Property to endorse the W Sales. They sent it out to 1,800 companies, about 8,000 different estate agents. We had 400 different people, over 400 different people reply and say that they want to come on the workshop. A lot of them said the timing was a little bit quick. But what an amazing way to start a business from complete scratch, from a complete standstill, no database, and to have over 400 people get back to you, come on the workshop. And as I said, Joburg was a resounding success, far more than I ever imagined we would get started with. So, and that for me is, who could you work with your affiliate partners? Who could you build relationships with? Who could you add value to their client base so that they're prepared to tell their market about it? And I believe, just in terms of the results we're getting, it's going to be onward and upward here in terms of adding huge value to their client base and really taking it in leaps and bounds going forward as people start to get the results and start to see how these skills and synergies add so much value to their lives. Then the other thing is, I met with a client of ours. They're 2 people. They want to invest in London and in Australia. They got 4.5 million rand in cash. Again, it's a classic example of persistence. I've been dealing with them since 2008. They were looking to invest in London in 2008 and actually didn't. But I've constantly kept up to date with them. I've had meetings with them. I've added value. I've let them know what's going on in the market. And they've got to the point now where they're ready. They've said we've got 4.5 million rand cash. We want to buy at least 2, if not 3 investments. And pretty much, Scott, we trust you. We know that you're the market leader. We know that you've got experience in both markets. So we'd like you to choose those 2 investments for us. So for me, it's a classic example with regards to sales of actually persisting, providing value, educating people, being the trusted and respected partner, and for it actually paying off in the long run. So, watch the space. They want those 2 properties before Christmas, which is pretty awesome, basically, in terms of where we were. But it's taken 3 years worth of persistence to get to that point. And then with regards to the Australian sales, we had an interesting week. I spent half a day training, continuing to build systems. But what was so exciting on Friday, one of our top sales professionals who joined us about 6 months ago, made another sale. And that was without me doing anything, basically. Obviously, I've built the company, I've built the systems, I've built the relationships, I've built the partners. But she's now understands the market, she understands the product, she dealt with the client, has helped them right through the process, and helped them buy into the platinum package, which is where we get all our money up front. So it's an awesome scenario for her, for the client, and for us. And it really, for me, is about building that system. It's about building those McDonald's. It's not about actually cooking the burger yourself, but it's building the system so that you build a McDonald's in terms of where you're going. Trust that the smoke's getting a little bit in my eyes here. So for me, it's that systems, it's the trails. And funny enough, it leads us on to the last thing. This week, we actually did a webinar on the Take It Virtual system. It's the system that we use now to really build our system so that we can hire people, we can train them, we can manage them virtually anywhere in South Africa and actually anywhere globally as long as they've got the internet. It's what's used by Tony Robbins and Chet Holmes to hire between 15 and 45 people a week and literally hire, manage and train them. So it's really, really awesome. They gave a webinar. I got the guys involved from America to show us how to use the system, because I realized it's a bit like a cell phone, I was using it to send text messages, make phone calls, and maybe make a calendar entry. But as you know, there's so much more that can do. So we really got into the power, and I shared it with some of my friends from W Sales in terms of what was happening. But you know, if you've ever read E-Myth from Michael Gerber, he said building businesses is all about systems and everything else. But what they said is the reason they went and built the Take It virtual system is because, you know, we all understand we need to build the systems, but how do you actually do it? And the problem with manuals is that you have all these manuals and they get stuck in some stuffy cupboard, they don't stay up to date, and yet you can have an online system that is literally, it's the thought knowledge of your entire, the brain's trust of your entire company, it's updated on a consistent basis, it's at the fingertips of anyone in your organization, and I honestly believe it's the way of the future. And really, you know, it's really, really exciting, and it's the way to build fantastic companies so that you can sit on the balcony, you can enjoy a lovely braai, and your company can be growing, it can be building, you can be getting people in, you can be empowering them. And as we all know, systems is what you have to do to take your business through the levels and to build the business that you want. And as I talk about with Gladiator, if you want to change from a one-man band into an army, if you want to change from a gladiator into a general, well, you need to have the systems, you need to hire top producers, you need to build winning teams. And if you do that, you can have all the freedom that you want, whether it's more time with your loved ones, more time for yourself, more financial freedom, more money, overseas holidays, whatever it was. So it's something I learned over 2.5 years ago. I've spent a lot of time investing in it, but it's starting to pay the returns. But that's all from me this week. I think it's time to cook my braai. As you can see, that smoke is getting in my face. So from a lovely evening here in Cape Town, cheers.